Hey everyone, many blessings. It is me again, All Things Wonderful, and we're back kicking off this next video. Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, comment, subscribe to this content if you feel that it speaks to you on a more personal, interpersonal level. Also, go ahead and click that notification bell. That way you are notified whenever I do release a new video. So before we get started, y'all know how we do starting off. We're going to go ahead and take some deep breaths in and meditate on these views by soaking in his presence. Again, I will leave the description, the information in the description box below. So let's go ahead and take some deep breaths in and out. Okay, so the topic today is going to be on indirect bullying and its interconnectedness to the enemy by All Things Wonderful. So this is a major tactic that the enemy uses through outlets like media, social media platforms, and more so now because it's so readily available, so prevalent, and literally everybody has a TV, everybody has a computer, almost everybody, when you reach a certain age, you have a cell phone. So this is a more increasingly growing strategy and problem that we are seeing being used. And I touched base on this a little bit in my last video where I talked about, none of this social media bullying and things like that is being properly mediated or negated. So the Holy Spirit has been really honing in on me to discuss this topic further. And this is not to scare you, but you should be aware of this, so you know that it's not all in your head. It's not all in your head, you guys. These tactics that the enemy uses, you're not going crazy. It's not just you. Other people see this too. It is very real, and you will find that the more you grow spiritually, the more you will begin to see these tactics play out. And so I am encouraging us to be vigilant. And we are going to go through identifying some of the signs of this indirect bullying that a lot of the true chosen experience through platforms, demonic platforms, such as, now I'm not saying that it's all demonic. You know, these platforms can be used as good, and a lot of times you will find that the true chosen are the ones actually implementing these platforms for good. But I am going to go through some of the identifying signs of indirect bullying used by the enemy. So I encourage us, as you grow on your spiritual journey, I encourage you to be vigilant and open. I really stress this. I can't stress this enough, that we must continue to open our spiritual senses. We must open our spiritual senses. And this will allow us ample opportunity to gauge our opponents, and better arm ourselves for when the enemy does use these strategies and place these certain people in our lives to kind of act as a way of holding us back, you know, because that's what the enemy does. He loves to send people our way to strategically try to set us up for failure or hold us back. But the more we open our spiritual senses, the more we grow in our spirituality and become aware of these things, it will become harder for them to use these tactics against us, because when we are able to identify these tactics, we can then armor up and guard ourselves against it. The enemy loves to mock, and oftentimes they are not original. They love to steal ideas, concepts, quotes, you know, style, anything. They love to steal from the righteous and make into their own, because these entities, they are not original. They lack originality. And they even do this with the Most High. They tend to take from the Most High and try to create it into their own. So I want to give y'all an example. This is what I've been experiencing recently, you know, in my life. And this is probably what guided me also to this topic is, you know, I have a professor, right? And I mean, I really haven't been kicking it off with this professor, because I feel like, you know, he didn't grade my first grade. I feel like I was graded unfairly, starting off. And, you know, I feel like, you know, this isn't going to go very well, you know, just off first impressions. And to top it all off, this is not only my professor in this class, but I realized this is going to be my field liaison, you know, through the entirety of my internship. So needless to say, we hit it off. We didn't hit it off quite right. So in class the other day, I realized too is that he also said something almost verbatim to what I said in one of my YouTube videos. Now I know he physically hasn't even heard of me on YouTube physically. But these are how these demonic entities travel, you guys, if you don't know. And I feel like, you know, they found me. They found a vessel who was easily used, which is my professor. And now these demonic entities is now encompassed into one of these, into my professor as a tactic against me. But I do not fear this. I actually show this as this actually gives me a vantage point, because now I know, you know, there's a demonic entity in this professor, and this is one of the signs that we as a true chosen should be looking for. Also, I realize too that every time we're in class and I make a comment or a regard, you know, this professor, either consciously or unconsciously, because these demonic entities travel from person to person, depending on you know, the availability of these vessels that they are traveling into. He tries to not degrade or demoralize, but you know, typically has been trying to devalue what I've been saying, or turning into something. He will twist it around as if, you know, what I said wasn't right, but then say the same thing he will rephrase it, but still saying the same thing, and make himself seem like he was the creator, originator of this idea or concept or what he was thinking about. So in my mind, I'm just like, oh, here we go. You know, here's a stone or a test that's being put against me, and I'm figuring, you know, this is how y'all's testing me. Here's another test. Here we go, you know. And so when we are dealing with, you know, people who have these demonic entities in them, and mind you, they are probably not aware of this at all. They are not in their subconscious. They probably, if you tell them, oh, you have a demonic entity in you, they would probably say you're crazy. But these are just facts of life. We are dealing in a physical 3D realm, but there's also dimensions to this. So how do I go about dealing with this? First of all, I've been fasting. Now, fasting could mean fasting from music, television, entertainment. And these are things that I've been doing for a while now. So I've been doing that, but I've also been fasting on my foods. I am so hungry right now, you guys. I have not eaten all day long. I've been having some water with me. So I've been fasting, I've been meditating, and I've been praying. Because in my eyes, okay, it's spiritual wartime. You know, these people are trying to keep me from achieving my goal and from achieving my purpose. So I'm armoring up, you know, I'm praying, I'm letting the Holy Spirit know what's up, you know, knowing what I see, praying that no strongholds, no spiritual entities can come against me, whether it be this professor or the next professor. Because I feel like this has happened before with my first semester and I wasn't aware of it. But now that I'm aware of this, I'm armoring up. So as you begin to grow in your spiritual walk, you will become more privy to this type of knowledge and understanding, to where when the enemy does send these type of tactics your way, you will know what to do, is what I'm getting at. You know, so some of the signs is through mockery, through demeaning. And this is types of indirect bullying as well. Mocking, demeaning, you know, belittling, you know. And so most righteous, you know, really, we just want to be left alone. Most true chosen are very easygoing, lighthearted, you know, quiet, well-kept people. We tend to just want to be left alone. But we also need to be spiritually armed, because you will grow to find that is just something that the enemy just cannot do, is leave us alone. Because we want to do something that they were incapable of doing, which is we want to follow the Most High, which is something they were incapable and didn't want to do. And because we want to do it, they tend to want to attack us for something that they were incapable of doing. So another brief topic I want to get into is that when you become blessed, I want to encourage you all to continue to walk in humbleness and grace and gratefulness. Don't allow pride and ego to consume you. Because if you do this, I guarantee you are entering into the danger zone. You are entering into the realm of the enemy. Continue to walk with a humble heart. Continue to be grateful. Because once you start walking in pride and ego, you begin to allow yourself access to the enemy. And all that blessing that you've accrued, you will find will begin to leave you. Because what I've discovered is that when you are blessed by when you are given something by the enemy, it doesn't last long if you are unwilling to continue to give your soul, to give your blood to the enemy, to continue to sacrifice pieces of yourself to the enemy. And even then, it's self-destructive. It's nothing lasting. It's nothing strong. It's nothing to be proud of. But when you are blessed by the Most High, it's one of substance. It's something that is lasting. It's something that can't be easily taken away. But to do this, you have to remain humble, remain in grace and gratefulness. And so that's what I'm encouraging the True Chosen to do. Please do not let your pride and ego get the best of you, because you will be consumed by it. Lastly, I wanted to say too is that, I used to tithe. I used to give a lot of tithing to the church, my churches that I used to attend, the church I grew up in and the church that, I became affiliated with when I moved here. After my spiritual awakening, I realized that this is not the true church. These are not the true churches. The true church are the righteous, the ones that are being led through the Holy Spirit. So I would say the last 2 years I've been giving to people I feel like the Ruach Kadash has led me to give to, who are the true servants of the Most High. And, however you decide to tithe, is your choice. But this has been my decision based off, what the Holy Spirit has been telling me to do. And I find no problems with it. If you choose to do it that way, that's fine too. Because what I feel like is a lot of these churches, you keep giving to these churches, and then what has been the outcome? How has our communities improved? What have they been doing for our communities? you know, truly. So I am going to leave y'all with that. I'm sending y'all much love, peace, blessings, and light. Y'all already know what it do and what it is over here. Shalom.